The wind cut the prairie like a blade, scraping sound from bone and fence wire alike, and it carried with it the smell of snow long before the flakes came. Silas Boone felt it in his left knee first, the one that had never healed right after a horse rolled on him outside Abilene. Christmas was 2 days away. Though nothing in the sky cared for calendars or mercy, his ranch sat alone where the grass thinned into hard earth, a scatter of buildings that looked temporary against the vastness, as if the land would shrug them off the moment he turned his back. He was mending a gate at dusk when he saw her. At first he thought she was a trick of light, the last sun slipping through blowing dust. A small figure stood by the road, wrapped in dark cloth, head bowed like she was praying to the ground itself. No horse, no wagon. That alone was enough to make Silas's hand drift toward the rifle leaning against the post. Folks didn't travel on foot out here unless they were desperate, foolish, or already dead and didn't know it yet. "Hey," he called, his voice sounding too loud in the empty air. She didn't move. Silas cursed under his breath and walked closer, boots crunching frozen dirt. When he was 10 paces away, she lifted her head. Her face was pale from cold, cheeks red and cracked, black hair escaping a scarf in wind-torn strands. Her eyes met his without fear, only a tired, steady resolve that unsettled him more than panic would have. "I am looking for work," she said. Her accent was thick but careful, each word placed like a stone in a river. "I can cook." Silas blinked. "You picked a fine place to look." She glanced past him at the ranch, then back at his face. "I heard there is a man here who eats alone." That landed heavier than any threat. Silas didn't ask how she knew. People talked, even about men who wished they wouldn't. "What's your name?" he asked. "Mei Lin," she said. "I was married. I am not now. A widow then." He didn't ask what happened to the husband. Out here the list of ways was too long. "You got anywhere to go?" he asked. She shook her head once. Snow began to fall, thin and sharp, stinging exposed skin. Silas looked at the sky, then at the darkening horizon. Leaving her would be easy. Taking her in would be trouble. Trouble had a way of finding him anyway. "I don't have money to pay you," he said. "I don't ask for money," she replied. "I ask for a place by the fire. And work." Silas studied her hands. They were raw and red, but the fingers were nimble, strong. Workers' hands. "Only if you season with laughter too," he said, the words slipping out before he could stop them. An old joke he hadn't used in years. For the first time her mouth curved upward, just slightly. "I will try," she said. That was how she came to his ranch, walking beside him as the snow thickened, carrying nothing but a small cloth bundle and a past that refused to stay buried. The first night she cooked beans and dried meat than Silas had tasted in years. She added something from her bundle, a pinch of dried herbs that smelled strange and warm. He watched her from the table, noting how she moved with quiet certainty, how she hummed under her breath, a tune that didn't belong to the plains. They ate in silence at first. Then Mei Lin told him a joke about a foolish emperor and a stubborn cook who saved his life with bad soup. Silas snorted before he could stop himself. The sound surprised them both. She smiled wider then, and for a moment the cabin felt less like a grave, but peace never lasted. 2 nights later, a rider appeared at dawn, pounding up to the ranch like he owned the land. Silas recognized him immediately. Cole Barrett, with his sharp eyes and cruel grin, backed by money and men and a hunger for things that weren't his. "Morning, Boone," Cole said, not bothering to dismount. "Heard you took in some stray." Silas stepped out onto the porch, shotgun in hand. "You heard wrong." Cole's gaze slid past him toward the cabin door. "Chinese woman," he said lightly. "Widow, real good cook. Ring any bells?" Mei Lin appeared behind Silas, calm as still water. "You are looking for me," she said. Cole smiled. "Now ain't that polite?" Silas felt the tension coil tight. "She's under my roof." Cole laughed. "That so? Funny thing about roofs, they don't mean much when the storm comes." He leaned down from his saddle. "Her husband owed me. Gambling debt, big one. He ran instead of paying. Then he died. Shame, debts don't die so easy." Mei Lin's eyes hardened. "My husband did not gamble," she said. Cole shrugged. "He owed all the same." Silas stepped forward. "You best leave." Cole's smile vanished. "I'll be back," he said softly. "With company." He rode off, leaving tracks that cut deep into the snow. Inside, Mei Lin's hands trembled for the first time. "He will kill you," she said. Silas set the shotgun by the door. "He'll try." That night, the wind howled like a warning. Mei Lin cooked as if it were any other evening. But her laughter, when it came, was forced. After supper, she told Silas the truth. Her husband had worked the railroad, saving money to open a small restaurant. Cole Barrett had demanded protection money. When her husband refused, Cole's men beat him and left him in a ditch. He died 2 days later. "I ran," she said. "I ran because they said the debt was now mine." Silas stared into the fire. Anger burned slow and steady in his chest. "You shouldn't have had to." At dawn on Christmas Eve, they came. 3 riders this time, guns out, faces hard. Silas fired first, dropping one from his horse. The others scattered, bullets tearing wood and glass. Maylene dragged Silas's spare rifle from the wall, hands steady despite the chaos. "Can you shoot?" Silas shouted. "Yes," she said, and proved it, firing once, twice, forcing the men back. Cole stayed at the edge, watching, calculating. Smoke stung Silas's eyes. His shoulder screamed where a bullet grazed him. When it was over, one man lay dead, another wounded and gone. Cole retreated, fury etched into his face. Silas slumped against the porch post, blood soaking his sleeve. Maylin pressed cloth to the wound, her face pale but determined. "You should have let me go," she whispered. Silas laughed weakly. "And miss Christmas supper?" Snow fell heavy and quiet around them. On Christmas morning, the ranch was silent. Silas woke to the smell of food and the sound of Maylene humming. He sat at the table, arm bandaged as she placed a steaming bowl before him. "What's this?" he asked. "Something from home," she said. "For luck." He took a bite and closed his eyes. Warmth spread through him deeper than the food. Outside, a single rider appeared on the ridge. Not Cole, a sheriff drawn by gunfire and rumors. By noon, warrants were signed. Cole Barrett would run or he would hang. That evening, as the sun dipped low, Maylene stood by the window. "I will leave," she said quietly. "It is safer for you." Silas shook his head. "This place ain't safe anyway." "Never was." She turned to him. "Then I will stay, if you want." Silas considered the long winters, the empty meals, the silence. He thought of laughter seasoned into beans, of courage behind calm eyes. "I could use a cook," he said. "And the laughter." She smiled, full and bright. And outside, the prairie lay still, as if listening, as if holding its breath, waiting to see what kind of future 2 broken souls might dare to build in the vast, unforgiving West.